And we're back.
And we are back.
We're back.
Ooh, and First Samuel Worldwide also says we are back.
A lot is catching on. It's kind of like the easiest way to start these streams is, and we're back.
Yeah. How are you doing, Zach?
Good. I'm tired. I'm sure you are too. It's been a long.
It's relentless. It's relentless. But you know what? It's the new normal for me. Just on it constantly. No off switch. There can't be. It's relentless. So
all gas, no brakes, as the kids would say.
Yeah. And I'm cool with it. There's a lot of exciting things happening, and this is what you work for, right? Like you with any startup, etc. You slog it out at the beginning. You don't see much, but then things start to fall into place and start coming together, and we are there, and it's really, really exciting.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, you kind of nailed it right there. This week, like some of the partnership conversations, people who've been reaching out to us who want to integrate with us. It's all kind of like, it's kind of coming full circle where it's like people on the outside are seeing the progress and they're like, oh, I can help out here, So I had some awesome calls. I even have some today. Some organizations and some tools that you all know. And well, I don't know about everybody, but we know from industry people, and it's really exciting stuff, to see that they're accepting us as a layer one of the future,
Yeah. That's how you start, right? Like initially it's all outbound, and then the inbounds start. And that's when it gets really, really exciting because you then have an ecosystem. And that's what we've been working to build, an ecosystem that's thriving, healthy, growing, expanding, and this is a fun time. Honestly, this past week was so much activity in terms of important milestones. I'm quite happy. I'm excited. I'm elated, actually. So
pretty excited too. I'm pretty happy. The week isn't over yet, so it could get a little bit better. We'll see how everything works. But even next week's gonna be really, really busy.
It's gonna be huge. Huge monster.
Yeah. Huge. Let's see. What else? I see you're wearing a sweatshirt today. Is it cold by you, or is it just like California cold, where it's like?
Oh, I always wear a hoodie. It doesn't matter what the weather is. I always wear a hoodie.
Okay. Fair enough.
Well, if it gets extremely hot, no, I'm not insane. I will not wear a hoodie at those times. But generally, I'm comfortable in one.
On Monday, it was like 63 degrees here. It was insane. But now it's already like back to 30 degrees. It's crazy.
A 30-degree swing? Really?
Yeah. Wow. Like 2 days. It's crazy. Welcome to Michigan. But yeah. So I think the number to beat for viewers today is 272. We're at 170 right now. So, only 3 minutes in, so that's good. So, we'll see if we can break it. 272.
All right, we'll see how that goes. We got a lot of information to process today, so I'm presuming there'll be lots of questions, and we're ready to take them on. So yeah, we can get going. Let's do this.
I'll be back.
All right, there we go. All right, hello everybody. Welcome to another Vitruveo download, where we review the week and week's activities, and also what's coming up. This is episode 9 of season 2. It's February 29, 2024. I'm Nick Kalyani, the founder, and I'm really excited to have you join us here today, whether you're joining us live or looking at the recording later. All right, so we're going to get going here and start going through the updates. So we'll start with the protocol as always. I think that's an important one to always have at the top. So we last week crossed the threshold and of 20K wallets, and that's continuing to grow. And hopefully in the next week, we should see a significant increase in that because of the some of the campaigns we're going to launch. So we are 2.2 million blocks. By the way, folks, it's really easy for you to kind of figure out when things are going to happen on the blockchain, etc. because what we do is we don't go by calendar dates, we go by blocks. Each block is 5 seconds, and so you can go back to October 24 and count from there forward, and you'll be able to estimate, what's going to happen when. So for example, a 30-day period has a certain number of blocks, and you can do the math and figure it out. But we don't go by calendar months. So this is going to be important because now everyone has an NFT and their coins are vesting, etc. So you cannot look at the calendar date or the time and know that some trigger event is going to happen. You got to look at the number of blocks. So it's always a block boundary that we care about. All right, so we are going to get going here and look at next piece of information. Let's go to capital. All right, so major milestone yesterday. We crossed 1.5 million, and then we also ended the booster sale. So the aggregate amount raised from the booster sales was $1,566,747. That is an amazing support from the community. I can't thank you enough. It's kept the lights on so far, and really grateful for that. So we ended the booster sale because we had always maintained that the idea behind the booster sales was to sort of handle ongoing cash flow. And one of the things we are at the cusp of now is increasing our traction, and traction is important for other investors to look at, and we believe we are at that point right now. So the final stats: 10,000 plus boosters minted. There were 4 super boosters minted. They were all 25K, and there were in aggregate 700 early birds. And of those, we also have a segment that's super early birds. But thank you everyone. This was amazing, an amazing sort of campaign, and I'm really grateful for all your support. All right, financial update. So yes, this being the end of the month, yesterday we ran our payroll. We are doing it once a month now, and so basically our recurring expenses are roughly about the same. They hover around 130 to 140 every month. And then we have additional one-time expenses, and this time they are actually significant because we are building a major airdrop campaign, and so we've had costs associated with that, and we also had some bills due for our incorporated services in BVI, British Virgin Islands. So the total that you probably saw already from the multi-sig was $177,700. So we are continuing to monitor and make sure that we spend very judiciously. But as an early stage startup where there's a lot of product development going on, a significant amount actually, practically every week we have a new product or application that is updated or released, and all of that takes engineering effort. So that is ongoing, and will probably go on for at least a few months, after which things will stabilize a little bit and we can have a better grasp on our finances. All right, let's talk about tokens. So as of 9 minutes ago, we started the VTRO staking schedule. So there's a 60-day plan to get a 25% reward. So congrats to everyone who was able to make it in. Looks like there was 16.2 million when I looked last, probably a little bit more because there's always a last minute surge. But that's amazing. That is a significant amount of the outstanding VTRO, the circulating supply. And in fact, I would venture that it's over 85% of it. Just off the cuff math there. Can probably do some better math and get it to you next week. So that's a pretty amazing result. And thank you. All right. Moving on. So last few days ago, we have Swapper 3 live, And this is an opportunity for the 13,342 wallets who did not seal earlier in the open period to go ahead and claim their VTRU and VTRO. So this will be available for 90 days. So that's until May 31st. And I see a lot of people coming in and doing those transactions. So we expect to have that continue. So like I said, the app will stay online for 90 days, and after that point, the app will be shut down, and any claims are no longer valid after that time. All right. We also initiated the core NFT airdrop for users, and that is completed for the initial set of Nexus users. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a few support issues, probably no more than a handful. I would say 10 or 15 wallets, and we will resolve those. So in aggregate, it's about 4,394 wallets, including the ones that have gone through Swapper 3 now, that have been processed and have their NFTs. And that's about 11.6 million VTRU that's been locked, with a TVL of 17.4 million. So as of right now, you're probably using your wallet's NFT viewer in order to be able to view this. So VTRU Scope is almost ready. I expect that it will be released either later today or tomorrow sometime, depending on the testing thing. But it will allow you to view your Nexus NFT, and it will give you details about how many tokens you have, what the vesting schedule is, and it'll allow you to claim any that are already vested and rebased and ready for you to grab. So again, VTRU Scope available later today or tomorrow latest, and that will allow you to essentially look at your core NFTs in your wallet. It is entirely possible that some of you will have more than one class of core NFT in your wallet. So for example, you might be an investor and have the Nexus. You might be a validator. You might have that also in the same wallet. You might be a creator and have a dreamer NFT, or you might be a benefactor, which is a significant investor. So anyway, with VTRU Scope, you'll be able to see all of those. And if there's any actions associated with it, you will see that also. We expect that the VTRU Scope is a living, breathing kind of app with constant updates. The most major update for it will actually happen next week, because now that the booster sales are completed, it's time for the booster features to be activated. So that's going to be a significant upgrade that's going to be done to VTRU Scope after the initial release in the next today or tomorrow. And what that will do is allow you to go in and look at all your boosters in your account. It will also allow you to go and boost any accounts that you want. So this is very exciting. And what happens after that is that your booster becomes an artwork NFT. So all of that is coming up in the next week, and look forward to sharing that information with you. All right. And now we go on to products. So we had a major milestone this week with VTRU Studio. So one of the features that we've been waiting on to complete was the very detailed metadata integration. And I'm very pleased to report that as of this morning, that is completed. And in fact, very shortly after this live stream is done, we are going to do a second live stream, myself and Furqan Giano, the Creator Council lead. And we are actually going to go through the VTRU Studio demo and showcase all its core features. So that should happen within a few minutes, probably no more than 30 minutes after we are done with this stream. We'll go through that. So if you're interested in seeing VTRU Studio, especially if you're a creator, you'll want to join that. We'll be posting links on our socials, so you can find it there. All right. So now let's go on to the ecosystem. So one of the big things I announced last week was the fact that we are initiating a major campaign called VTRU Airdrop. And what I'd like to report here is that the team has been working crazy hours, and we are on the cusp of launching this. So the software is nearly ready. We've essentially engineered this for scale. It has a lot of moving parts, but they all come together in the past few days and also over the weekend. And we expect that early next week, we'll be able to go ahead and launch this campaign and invite many other new users to the Vitruveo fold. So really excited about that. I've been using the app, and it's looking really good. And it's great to see it has a lot of real-time streaming capabilities in it. So you could just have it sit there, and you could see new users come in and get points and do activities and all of that without refreshing the page or anything like that. So it's looking really good. All right. Now, since the booster sales are done, we have OTC at Vitruveo active, and that's going to remain active for until we launch the airdrop campaign. And it's important to note that there is going to be the public sort of seed round here coming up, and as a result, the price of VTRU will go up to $2.50. That's where we intend to start. So on the OTC, it is still available at $1.50, but that's going away in roughly around 72 hours, maybe a little bit more than that, as soon as we launch the airdrop campaign. And so the price will start going up. So if you weren't able to get a booster and you still want to get some VTRU, otc.vitruveo.xyz is your go-to place. That's where you can swap either on Binance Smart Chain or on Ethereum with a stablecoin. So USDC and USDT on Ethereum, and BUSD and USDT on Binance. So you can swap those for VTRU. And like I said, the price goes up very shortly. Okay. Next up is our weekly download. So please go ahead and claim that download at the link, or you can scan the QR code. So this is sort of all the news we have for this download. I kind of wanted to focus this download more on the community questions, especially since we've wrapped up the booster sale and we've got the staking going on, and we're about to do an airdrop. I see a lot of questions in the Discord, and I'd like to take the opportunity to sort of answer them live. The other thing is we have been so heads down working on getting this airdrop campaign going, and also on getting VTRU Scope and also Studio ready for prime time. We were going through the alpha and the beta phases, etc. And so it's been a very hectic week. So that's it for the news for the download, but expect probably a few we'll probably do at least one live early in the week once we launch the airdrop campaign, because that is going to be the big news that's coming up next week. And we'll also probably publish some stats on the staking, and also we will publish some data on the boosters, because now that we have all the sales concluded, we can do an analysis and figure out what everyone's share is going to be and publish some of those numbers. We just didn't have enough time to get it done for today, but expect to see some of that in a live next week on Discord, and then of course on Friday's download. So with that, Zach, let's have you come back and let's look at some of the questions, and let's get going.
I'm back. Okay. Let's see. Really bullish on everything. Can you tell us a bit more about Honcho and the expectations in terms of project? So I guess is that question, and you can ask me in chat, is that related to you wanting to put a project on there, or is it in terms of the generalness of the marketplace? I guess is what I would ask.
Oh, we can talk about the general part for sure. Uh, Honcho is our focal point for getting creator projects on there that generally follow the established norm of sort of PFP projects, but we expect that they're going to be more creative because we now with gas being low, you can do some interesting things on chain that are prohibitive on other chains. So we expect that to happen. I've seen the art of some of the projects that's there, and it's pretty amazing. It's really great.
Yeah.
The other thing is also, unlike other chains, we have metadata on chain. So on-chain metadata makes a big difference, and we expect to see some innovative projects in that front also. So for us, if you think about Vitruveo as sort of, when you creators sort of being in two big domains. One is sort of the creators who create art, music, etc., and then there's the creators who create art, music, etc., but for a very specific purpose, which is the PFP type collections, etc. So Honcho is our foundation, our marketplace to encourage and support all those projects. We plan on building a lot of tech into it in order to make it super simple for people to launch their own projects. So if you have a project idea in mind and your impediment has been that, oh, you can't get a dev team, etc., to crank it out yourself, you will find that on Honcho, we'll make it so that it's more or less going to be self-service. So you can bring a great idea, and if you want the art, etc., you can launch your own project there.
Yeah, we're talking with the team about how like, so for anyone listening out there who has some PFPs that never got launched and you never had a smart contract developer to help you launch it, come to us. We'll help you launch that project on Honcho. We're trying to make it where it is going to be a no code sort of thing where you can just upload the assets and away you go. So, and some other cool integrations for the future for Honcho that make it a little bit less cumbersome on someone who wants to launch a project versus, standing up your own website and mint page and a bunch of other things down the line. But obviously we have to hit MVP first so we can start having these first projects in there.
Yep.
So this person, right? Well, obviously, I just want to address this because this question comes up every week and it comes up in the download. Just bookmark Vitru.xyz download poet because it's the same link every week.
Yeah, but what they're saying is that they want to claim last week's because we update the link every time.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, in general, like, even if you can't make the download, you know what time it is, and if you want to still claim that poet, just set an alarm, hit claim, go to the bookmark and get it out.
Yeah, you have only 24 hours to claim it. So if you missed it, unfortunately, that cannot be fixed now.
I just wanted to put it out there that because I get a lot of people, oh, what's the link? It's the same link as it was last week. But yeah, this is something that was kind of hitting me this morning. Was the stake app on mobile wasn't really working or connecting for people.
Yeah, one of the challenges with releasing apps with such a frequency, we barely have time to get them done and ship. You don't have time to properly test for responsive design and all devices, etc. So we'll go back and look at the stake Dapp and make it responsive so it works on mobile. That's just a fact. It's just because of the time involved. We didn't have enough time to get that done.
I never personally used it on mobile. However, I do know that multiple people used the MetaMask browser and it worked for them. And I know it's been inconsistent. And then for people, because I had this problem myself, if you are trying to access it via a browser and you don't have a MetaMask extension or whatever wallet extension, it'll just show blank. So you have to have that wallet because they're like, use one that has a MetaMask extension. It worked just fine. So you have to do that in order to see it. So if you're getting a blank screen, it's probably because the browser's not recognizing that there's a wallet that you can connect to.
Yep.
Super early bird question. When are we getting our 100 Vitru?
All right. So this is a very good. And when I apply all my boosters to my account, do I still get the lifetime revenue? Yes. So everything that has been promised, you're going to get. So let me walk you through sort of the workflow you're going to see in Vitruveo Scope for all you booster holders. Essentially, what you will be able to do is see a view with all your boosters that you have, and you can select one or more of them, and you can enter an address. It'll prompt you for an address. That address will be the boost target. So it's going to go and look in that account and tell you if that account has a Nexus NFT. So in other words, you're going to be actually boosting an existing Nexus NFT. That was the whole point of the booster. If the account you have selected does not have one, it's going to let you know that we will be airdropping a Maxim NFT into that account, and then essentially boosting that. So what does boosting entail? Well, boosting entails the transfer of the coins that are associated with that booster. So remember, the booster is a voucher, right? It has value associated with it. So when you boost a target account, the coins that are in that booster are transferred to the target account. I have questions all the time about, oh, will those be vested or will those not? Those are not vested. The booster coins are ready to go. They are freely available in the target boosted account. Um, then what happens is the points associated with that booster. So every booster has certain points around the acceleration of vesting. We call them basis points using financial terminology. 10,000 basis points are 100% basically. So every booster has a certain number of basis points, and what we do is we go add them to the basis points that are already in your Nexus NFT, and then we also convey to that Nexus, or if it's a Maxim NFT, that also we convey the shares that are going to be available for that booster. So you have a perks pool share, you have a revenue share, and all of those are conveyed to that target account. And then when all is done, after that transaction is complete, the booster or boosters you selected are now marked as boosted, and they become art NFTs. So the art is revealed, and you will have in your possession unique NFTs with artworks. But all the value is transferred to the target account. You can boost any account you want. It does not have to be yours. It does not even have to even have a Nexus. It can be any random account, which is why we're going to alert you before you commit of what you're about to do, if the target account has a Nexus or does not, etc. So that's what's coming up next week in an upgrade for Vitruveo Scope, which we will be releasing today or tomorrow. Hopefully that answered your question.
We haven't really heard anything about BC and other investments. Can we get a ballpark on how that's going?
Yeah, so we're not going to talk numbers because that's just not something you do until deals are closed. But I do want to tell you, like, one of the things that we have heard from investors is about traction, right? So we've been steadily building up, and one of the things that we now have is really traction on all fronts. So we've got a growing community. We've launched several products. We've got a DEX. We've got a listed token. We have a coin that will also be listed. We have a huge community of artists. We are onboarding them. That software is complete. So when you put all of that together in aggregate, what you see is significant traction. And this was sort of what investors were looking for. And so now we can continue those conversations and bring them to fruition because we have very tangible things. And as we were saying earlier, we are seeing inbound activity now. We are seeing people taking note of the fact that we've got things going on. So as the month of March progresses, you can expect to hear more news as we close some of the pending deals.
Right. Let's see. That was all the starred questions. All right. How do I participate in the airdrop? That's a pretty simple one. We will tell you when it's out. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, it's very simple.
Bu- 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 bu. Will the scope Dapp show calculations of boosters, VTRO, Sochai, Honcho, and integrations with all prior perks, red share, rebases, etc.? It would be great.
Yeah, we'll show all those calculations. We're not going to show calculations for
Tokens,
random tokens, etc., because those don't have a bearing on your calculations. But as far as VTRU goes and boosters go and rev share goes, then we will be showing all of that.
So with boosters done, is the marketing campaign starting? Does it look like we're launching sometime this month? I'm trying to think. You're talking about VTRO. Like, are we launching VTRO or VTRU this month?
Well, it's a hard question to answer because it's already launched. I mean, people keep using the term launch, and it's hard to answer.
I think the correct terminology would be listing.
Okay.
So like listing on an exchange for trading.
Yeah, we would not list until our airdrop campaign is done.
How do I participate? How do I participate? A lot of questions of people how to participate. You'll know. We're not going to keep it a secret from you guys.
Yes, definitely not.
We're not going to keep
it.
When is DEX? DEX is out. Swap.vitruveo.xyz.
Yep. So I have a feeling that now there are a few members who were not part of the community who are coming in and just getting reacquainted with what's going on and getting their bearings. And so we're going to get some of these questions. I see them in Discord also, people just popping in after, a hiatus and seeing that.
Any CoinGecko CoinMarketCap update? This is crucial. So on CoinMarketCap, I'm just waiting for them to respond back to us so we can submit the right information. They say it takes about 24 hours for them to do that. Just waiting on the email back from them. I submitted the first wave of paperwork, and so we should be on there hopefully next week. I mean, they were pretty responsive. I don't know why they have. Maybe it is in my inbox. I just haven't checked it this morning. So, but yeah, that's coming on the way. And then CoinGecko is we're dealing with that.
Yeah, we are in talks with them, and we'll see how things move forward with that. So we'll keep you apprised.
And shout out to some of the community members. I saw people were talking in holders chat. They're like that they opened support tickets and were like, hey, like they were pissed off about it, like as they should be. So
yeah. Look, we're gonna have to continue to deal with the past. We can't just erase it. It happens, and people who follow evidence and are fact based see no issues and can move forward. But people who go on speculation and innuendo, etc., they tend to have reach whatever conclusion they have. So our goal is to make sure that everyone sees the facts and looks at the evidence and where our project is now.
At me. All right. My friend didn't do seal the deal, and her wallet shows not a holder in Swapper 3.0, but she's a sacrificer listed on the Genesis allocation final list. Is it possible to solve this issue? I'm sure it's possible.
Yeah, it's odd though that they didn't do seal the deal and their wallet is not in Swapper 3. That is interesting scenario. Yeah, let's get that information and figure it out, because it shouldn't have. I mean, I'm the only thing I can think of is it's possible that you didn't seal the deal, but you transferred, right? So if you transferred, then your old wallet would no longer be there, and that would be the logical explanation for it. But it's all on chain, so we can track it and figure out what happened.
Yep. And Bender is doing ticket sweeps with you now very regularly, so we can get caught up on the most important ones. And I don't mean this as an insult by any means, but a lot of times, I'm not going to name any names, people just they're connected to the wrong wallet. Like it's MetaMask will, like, if that's what they're using, will connect to a couple different wallets, and you just got to switch and make sure it's connected over. And a lot of tickets have been solved that way. But yeah, definitely, if you don't have a support ticket or they don't have a support ticket open, Bender's off today. It unfortunately had a funeral to attend, but he is maintaining that list and doing a great job of getting that stuff done. Okay. Question regarding rebasing. We haven't heard a rebasing question in a minute. I understand that we need to meet the transaction threshold in a 24-hour period. Once we hit the first one, it goes up per day or per goal met.
Yeah. Remember, it's not. We don't use calendar days or things like that, but it's essentially 17,280 blocks is the epoch, and that's the threshold. So the next one increases by 500. So what you can do is count how many epochs have happened since October 24th, and that would be the goal today, like now. And I believe I'm gonna say it's in the 56,000 range, 56,000 transactions, and increasing by 500 daily. So now the nice thing is we've got all these projects lined up, and you can see, the activity already increasing. So it's not going to be very long before these lines intersect, where the activity line and the threshold line. Now, the rate at which the threshold line is increasing is quite slow, like very metered, 500 per day. But the rate at which the transactions are increasing are hopefully going to be, significantly larger rate, given the number of projects that are coming on board. And so we should be able to cross that and then maintain that steadfastly. So I expect we'll reach a point where we have our first few rebases, and then it'll be a consistent rebases every epoch. Yeah, so the basic thing that is that there's a lot of activity going on, but if you notice that there's a pattern to it, right? Like we talk about what we are going to do, how we are going to do it, etc., and then we execute, and once that's done, then we build upon it and do the next thing. So it wasn't very long ago that we were talking about launching a DEX, and having a DEX token and listing it and all that. And remember those conversations that they pretty much filled the air, right? And all of that is behind us, So I just want to be mindful of the fact that all of these were major milestones, and we get through them, and then it's on to the next milestone, etc. So all of this is going to come together very nicely over the next 30 to 60 days. And as we saw, February was jam-packed, right? We did so many things, we had so many milestones, and March, I feel, is going to be much bigger. In fact, I would venture to say that March is going to be our biggest month yet in terms of activity, in terms of just about everything. It is going to be a significant month.
I'm just weeding through a lot of the same over and over again.
So there's a question here about when we will launch for trading. So we're going to do this airdrop. We're going to let it run its course. I think we will very organically know when it's reached its course. Our goal is and has always been to make sure that we can approach and list VTRU with a strong amount of liquidity and a good strong price. So that's our goal. And so we can't put dates on it, because what we have to do is look at results, and we go by that. And so as I was saying, right, March is all of this comes together. We've got sort of institutional investors. We've got the airdrop, all of that happening together. We've moved past the booster sale now. So now we look at the next tier of capital. We got all of that together. We have a solid foundation for getting VTRU on a tier one exchange, and we take it from there.
Like I said last week, we're leaping into a new phase.
Yeah. It's really hard to put dates on these because it's not just us, right? You can't just go to an exchange and say I want to list on this date. It doesn't work that way. They have their own marketing schedules. They have their own marketing timelines. We have to work with their policies, their procedures. And as we learned from the MEXC exchange, it was actually very deliberate that we launched the VTRO token first because we had a lot of learning to do. It was not, launching a token, an ERC20 token on Ethereum. When you have a protocol, they expect to integrate. They expect to run a validator on there. So we have to work with the engineering team. We have to essentially get them on the network. We have to do performance testing. All of that has to happen. So, and all of that takes time and discussion and working and collaboration with the exchange. So it was quite an eye opener for me to list a VTRO on an exchange because I'd never foreseen all those things happening. I just assumed it would be more or less automatic because and that they would use the public RPC nodes, etc. But turns out that exchanges want to have their own nodes and want to, and I believe all of that is entirely due to latency, right? Because when you have large number of transactions occurring, latency is important. And when you're going across the network, a remote network, that speed changes how many transactions you can handle, etc. So when you have an RPC node within the same data center as your exchange, it makes a big difference. So
yeah, we're averaging like 300,000 K a day in volume, which is a lot.
And that's VTRO. And once we get to VTRO, that's gonna be significant.
Oh, it'll be much different for sure. Yeah, it's just that's all. I mean, that's just a lot of volume. I look at it every day. It's like 400K, 500K. It's like over 5 million total that's been traded back and forth, which is it's a lot. Another Honcho related question. What is going to be the utility of the Honcho token? We're not a part of the Honcho team. We just work with the Honcho team. It's not a core Dapp to Vitruveo. So we'll have to talk with them. I know that they're working on a Discord, and that'll be coming out in the next month or so. And you can expect like the Genesis projects on Honcho mid-March, so a couple weeks away. So.
All right. I see a lot of follow-up questions, etc. But look, we can speculate all we want, but I believe it's more important for me to give factual information of these things. And so if I have the information, I'll share it. If I don't have it, I'm not going to speculate too much. Our priorities have always been the same, right? We want this blockchain to be successful. We want the investors to be successful. We want VTRU to be incredibly successful. So we're not going to take any shortcuts. We're going to do things the right way, as we've been doing, and move things forward.
Interesting. When will this export to CSV function on the Blockchain Explorer be ready?
Well, I didn't even know that it was an issue. So I guess we'll have to go back and look at that. I'll make a note of it. In fact, I've actually used it myself, so I'll go back and look at it. Yeah. So here's a question about VTRU staking. So just note that VTRU staking is activated as soon as the airdrop campaign is activated. So we last week I announced that we're gonna have VTRU staking for 60, 90, 120, 150, and 180 days with progressively higher returns, including higher points also. So when we launch that airdrop next week, there is going to be an opportunity for you to stake Vitru.
Yeah, it's not working for me.
Oh.
It goes to the export data function, and then you hit the download. The button doesn't seem to activate. So, might be a simple fix.
Yeah.
Should be.
All right. So as I mentioned earlier, we are kind of about to go from this one, take a short break, and then go into another stream, primarily targeting the creators, where we'll go deep into Studio and show you some of the features that we've got going there. So, as I've also mentioned, we're wrapping up VTRU Scope. So expect to see an announcement about that in Discord. I would say, like I said, we'll do testing today. If you feel confident it's good, we'll release it today. If not, we'll do some more testing and release it tomorrow. So you should see it then.
All right. Well, I think that'll do it for us this week.
So right now, our complete attention, other than the VTRU Scope, which, like I said, will be out, is the airdrop. There's a lot of work being done on that, and we are really excited about that. That's
I know a lot of people
major
are
milestone
really
for us.
curious about it, and we're being very tight-lipped about it for good reason.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I will allow Fur to take my spot, and you guys will be back at it again in about a half hour.
Yep, we'll do that. But thanks, everyone. Really appreciate it, and look forward to seeing you online and in lives also early next week, as we have some exciting news to report. So we'll go through that. Thank you, and have a good weekend.